I just wanted to pop on this week and talk about something that I'm noticing a pattern talking about with people that's coming up a lot in my work and other conversations. So it seems to just be in the air. And that is comparisons. Really quickly, just breaking down, there's lots of different ways in which we compare ourselves. And I think it's important to understand what's at the bottom of that. So comparisons can come out in all kinds of forms, right? We can be comparing ourselves to others in a way where the other person seems to have something or be something that we are feeling like we're lacking. We might be comparing in a way where we are feeling superior or a little self-righteous, and we're looking at that person and saying, oh, well, I wouldn't have done it that way. The last comparison is really more of an existential comparison of, I don't feel like I am living up to an expectation, and not necessarily of an expectation that maybe we even know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's clear, like, I was supposed to, be this kind of person in my family and I'm not. Or I was supposed to get this kind of career or job or be at this stage in my life and I don't have that. So we're not comparing ourselves to another person per se, but we are kind of holding ourselves up against maybe an expectation that was either held for us or that we are holding for ourselves or for our lives, and we're not feeling like we're quite matching up to that. That's all the ways that comparisons can kind of show up in our lives, and there's a lot of breakdown of all of that. However, today I just want to have you focus on what's underneath of that. And there can be a lot of things that can come from that, but I believe that getting to the root of it from what are we judging ourselves or what are we judging others? And even something that fuels those judgments can be assumptions that we're making about ourselves, assumptions that we're making about others, assumptions that we're making about the world around us. Noticing the judgments, noticing what our minds grasp onto, noticing if there's assumptions that are fueling those judgments. And there can also be a sense of value. So this can be about worthiness. Am I worthy? Is that person worthy? Is the world worthy? And I know I have not done an in-depth dive into shame. However, when we're talking about or questioning the idea of worthiness, we're really getting at if we're feeling not good enough, if we're feeling unworthy. We're really getting at a glimpse of shame. And so when I break these things down with the people that I talk to, and we start to look at these layers of, okay, step away from the comparison. First step, take yourself out of that comparison, because that's not going to propel you or get you anywhere, whether you're comparing yourself because you're not feeling good enough or worthy, or you're judging yourself or holding some kind of assumption that you're supposed to be somewhere that you don't feel like you are, or if you're looking down on others. Continuing down that path and continuing to, obsessively, compulsively pull that pulley system that just keeps regurgitating the same information, not gonna get you away from this. What gets you away is start to look at what's underneath of that. What are the judgments that I have about myself or this situation or this person? Where is that coming from? Sit, let that integrate a bit. And when the questions of my expectations, my assumptions, or worthiness start to come in, then we can start to fine-tune a bit of that. So just trying to notice these things as they arise, but even after the fact. So one of the examples that I use that is most relatable to people to practice noticing judgments specifically, since we're focusing on maybe that being one of the biggest layers of what fuels our comparisons. Practice while you're driving. So while you're driving, what are you saying about the people around you? And I'm not saying that they're not doing crazy things, right? Like, I really enjoy when people use their blinkers. Not everybody does. But I know that when I used to drive on a more regular basis, I could notice my judgments. And what I found out is that a lot of the times my judgments were coming from fear. Someone almost hit me. Oh my gosh, what would have happened? I was not great with my time management, and now I'm in a hurry, and so why don't these people just get out of my way, and they're horrible drivers. And maybe some judgment towards myself of, why can't I just be on time, or why wasn't I more prepared? And honestly, a lot of the time came down to I was hungry, probably because of poor management. So I didn't eat, and now I'm stuck in traffic or stuck behind this person, and all these judgments are coming up. And those are good times to practice, because it's not the emotionally in-depth stuff that's hard to look at. It's really sort of, I found it at least, really humorous. Like, oh my gosh, why am I freaking out about this? I can control some of these things. Great. I'm going to be better at time management. I'm going to make sure I have snacks in my car, or I try to eat something right before I leave. This is where we can find places in our lives where we can have a comfort level with looking at some of these patterns and behaviors that are popping up. And then practicing that over and over and over helps us recognize when we're in the pattern that's more detrimental, that might be harder to look at, that has a little bit more to do with us not feeling worthy, us not feeling like we're meeting our life expectations, or that this person has everything that I want and I don't have that. Hopefully this resonates with you, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Again, just kind of noticing this pattern popping up, and thought, well, if it's happening to this many people I'm connected with, then it might just be something that is happening more often, either at this time or people are just more aware of it. So I hope that this is helpful, and it's really great to continue to be here and share some of this information. I look forward to any of your comments or questions, and I will see you sometime in the near future. Bye.